Welcome to the Psychology and Physical Training channel. Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into the 10 psychological weaknesses that every woman struggles with. From self-doubt to people-pleasing, we'll explore the common pitfalls that can hold women back from reaching their full potential. Self-doubt. That pesky inner voice, you know that voice, right? The one that creeps in when you're about to take a big step. The one that whispers, "Are you sure you can do this?" Or, "What if you fail?" Self-doubt is like that uninvited guest who just won't leave, always lingering in the background. It tells you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. It questions your every move. And the worst part? It often stops us from going after the things we really want, the things that could change our lives. Think about a time you held back from doing something you were excited about. Maybe it was a new opportunity or a personal project. Maybe it was applying for that dream job, sharing your creative work with the world, or even just speaking up in a meeting, voicing your ideas and opinions. That, my friends, was probably self-doubt rearing its pesky little head, making you second-guess yourself. But here's the thing, everyone experiences self-doubt. It's a universal feeling. Even those super successful women you see out there, the ones who seem to have it all together. The difference is, they've learned to recognize it for what it is, a feeling, not a fact. They've learned to push past it. So the next time that voice pops up, try thanking it for its concern, and then tell it to take a hike. You don't need it holding you back. Remind yourself of your strengths and accomplishments. Reflect on how far you've come, because you, my friend, are capable of incredible things. You have the power to achieve your dreams. Don't let self-doubt tell you otherwise. Embrace your potential and move forward with confidence. People-pleasing, the approval trap. Okay, let's talk about people-pleasing. We've all been there, right? Saying yes when we really want to say no, bending over backwards to make others happy. It's like we're wired to seek approval, to be liked by everyone. People-pleasing comes from a place of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. And it can leave us feeling drained, resentful, and even a little lost. When you're constantly trying to please everyone else, what happens to your own needs and desires? They often get pushed aside. The good news is, you can break free from the people-pleasing trap. It starts with setting boundaries, learning to say no, and really meaning it, and prioritizing your own needs. Remember, you can't please everyone all the time, and that's okay. Emotional reactivity. Riding the roller coaster, let's be real, ladies, we feel things deeply, and that's a beautiful thing. But sometimes those emotions can feel like a roller coaster ride, up one minute, down the next. That's emotional reactivity in a nutshell. It's that tendency to react impulsively, to let our emotions dictate our actions, without taking a moment to pause and process. Think about a time when you said something in the heat of the moment that you later regretted. Emotional reactivity can be tough to navigate because emotions are powerful. But the key is to learn how to manage them, not let them manage us. One of the best ways to do this is to practice mindfulness. By learning to respond rather than react, we can make choices that are aligned with our values and goals. Fear of failure. Staying stuck in our comfort zones. Okay, this one's a biggie. The fear of failure. That feeling that keeps us from going after our dreams, from putting ourselves out there, from even trying. It's like an invisible wall holding us back from our full potential. And you know what? It's totally normal to feel afraid of failure. No one likes to mess up or feel like they've fallen short. But here's the thing. Failure is a part of life. It's how we learn and grow. Every mistake, every setback teaches us something valuable. Some of the most successful people in the world have faced countless setbacks and failures along the way. They didn't let those failures define them. The key is to shift our perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided at all costs, what if we embraced it as an opportunity for growth? What if we saw each failure as a stepping stone to success? Don't let the fear of failure hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Perfectionism, the high achiever's trap. All right, let's talk about perfectionism. It's a topic that resonates with many high achievers. Now, on the surface, striving for excellence is a good thing, right? It pushes us to do our best and achieve great things. But perfectionism, that's a whole other beast. It's not about doing your best. It's about an unattainable ideal. Perfectionism is all about setting impossibly high standards, not just for ourselves, but often for others too. These standards can be paralyzing, and the problem is, those standards are, well, impossible to meet. No matter how hard we try, we always fall short. It's like chasing after this elusive idea of perfect that doesn't even exist. It's a never-ending race with no finish line. And in the process, we end up feeling inadequate, stressed out, and constantly like we're not good enough. It's a vicious cycle. Have you ever held yourself back from sharing your work, your ideas, or even just your authentic self because you were afraid it wasn't perfect enough? That's perfectionism at play. It stifles creativity and growth. The truth is, done is better than perfect, every single time. Progress is more important than perfection. Embrace your imperfections, celebrate your progress, and give yourself permission to be human. Remember, it's our flaws that make us unique and relatable. A lack of boundaries, protecting our energy. Let's be real, saying no can be tough, especially for us women. We're often conditioned to be helpful, to be accommodating, to put others' needs before our own. But here's the thing, saying yes to everything and everyone can leave us feeling drained, resentful, and completely burnt out. That's where boundaries come in. Boundaries are essential for protecting our time, our energy, and our emotional well-being. Think of them as your own personal set of rules for how you want to be treated and how you want to show up in the world. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to people-pleasing. But trust me, it gets easier with practice. Remember, setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-care. Negative self-talk, taming the inner critic. Okay, let's talk about that little voice inside our heads. You know the one that loves to point out our flaws, criticize our every move, and remind us of all our perceived shortcomings. Yeah, that's our inner critic, and let's be real, it can be brutal. Negative self-talk can be so insidious because it often masquerades as truth or being realistic. But here's the thing, just because we think something doesn't make it true. The good news is we can learn to tame that inner critic. It starts with becoming aware of our negative thought patterns. Pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself. Are they kind? Are they compassionate? Or are they harsh, judgmental, and downright mean? Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer to a loved one. Fear of being alone. Finding comfort in our own company. All right, let's talk about the fear of being alone. In a world that constantly tells us we need to be coupled up, it's no wonder so many women struggle with this fear. But here's the thing, being alone doesn't have to be a bad thing. In fact, it can be an incredible opportunity for self-discovery, growth, and finding joy in our own company. The fear of being alone often stems from a lack of self-love and self-acceptance. When we don't feel whole and complete on our own, we look to others to fill that void. But the truth is, true happiness and fulfillment come from within. It's about learning to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, flaws and all. Carve out time for yourself, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Remember, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Lack of self-care. Putting ourselves first. Okay, let's talk about self-care. And no, I'm not talking about bubble baths and face masks, although those are nice too. I'm talking about making ourselves a priority, about prioritizing our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. In a world that constantly demands our time and energy, it's easy to put ourselves last. But here's the thing, we can't pour from an empty cup. We can't show up as our best selves for others if we're not taking care of ourselves first. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential. It's about making conscious choices that nourish our minds, bodies, and souls. Maybe it's moving your body, eating nourishing foods, getting enough sleep, or spending time in nature. Whatever fills your cup, make it a non-negotiable. Remember, you are always worthy of care. And last but not least, let's talk about the fear of change, embracing the unknown. Change is inevitable, right? It's a part of life. And yet it can still feel scary, uncomfortable, even downright terrifying. We cling to the familiar, to our routines, to the comfort of what we know, even if it's no longer serving us. But here's the thing, change is often where the magic happens. It's where we grow, we evolve, and we create a life that's more aligned with who we truly are. The fear of change often stems from a fear of the unknown. Our minds like to predict, to control, to know what's coming next. But life is full of surprises. And sometimes the most beautiful things happen when we least expect them. Remember, you are stronger than you think. And that's it, guys. Those are the 10 psychological weaknesses that every woman struggles with. Remember, awareness is the first step to change. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to follow me on social media for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.